What's going on, family? What's going on, family? I'm feeling good today, y'all. Dave Jones here. And I don't even know if you can hear this audio properly because it's not in there, but I'm just excited to start this journey of transformation secrets, what it is that we have to do to actually now be, do, and have whatever it is that we desire. And so I'm gonna get on here daily to give you at least the dump my thoughts, practicing what I need to practice in my executable process of actually walking in my motivational assignment and exhortation, which is to love on people, to build people, to cause them to be the best version of themselves based upon what they do, be, and have. Now, my audio may be a little bit off because I'm just excited and I'm just jumping in, testing all of my software and my equipment, and I want to take you on this journey with me. And we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. All right, so let me turn this down really quick and jump right into what I'm trying to do. All right, so look, there are 5 modules or 5 sets of systems that I think a person needs to go through in order to master themselves so they can execute, to be, do, and have whatever it is that they desire. And if you're in a position that you feel like you're paralyzed, you're in a position that you see people that are going to have success and they're just moving further than you, and you kind of really look at yourself and you're like, man, I feel like I'm stuck and I'm not moving at all. I can empathize with you in that particular area, and to the point that I have experience in it. And now I want to show you how to execute different things that you can to actually change, to actually transform, to reprogram your mind. I listen to a lot of motivation and research and mind reprogramming research, but it's sometimes so all over the place. My assignment was to go out and extract all this different philosophical principles and universal mind, which really speaks of God, the creator, and try to put it in some type of format that we can actually walk through it step by step and it's comprehensible. If that's word, you can comprehend it. And one thing about me, it's like I see process. I'm a process guy, and I love to explain a process so somebody can take that information and begin to walk it out. So for those who are specifically now going into this new year with, you know, that you have an expectation to be better, but you only have given it to time. Like, time will make you better. I'll be better next year, or I'll be better tomorrow. That is a false narrative. You will not just be better because time passes. And excuse my audio because I know it's kind of delayed. You will not be better just because time passed. You will only be better if you have an executable plan with the knowledge of what's actually taking place, and you are anticipating a result because you're going a specific direction. So out of the 5 modules that we are ultimately going to talk about, that is broken down or into maybe 20 parts. The first module really says before you can start to change or transform or be the best version of yourself, you have to know yourself, and know yourself as a mechanism, how you work, how you tick, how to self-identify. And that's what I want to do a brain dump today. And I really do need your feedback to tell me if this is understandable, if you can actually apply this information right now and execute on it. So I'm gonna jump in and maybe use a couple slides for this. So this is very, very informal. So you can bear with me as I get better as I practice this concept. All right. So the first start, before you begin to try to become the best version of yourself or to do anything, uh, you have to discover what I call your I am. You have to discover your I am. I want to share my screen really quick. And I'll decide if I want to continue to do this in the future, because these are some of the slides that I'll be putting into an actual course. And so you can help me with this, with your comments below. All right. So the first thing that you want to do before you identify how to transition, you basically want to discover your I am. And simply what that means, I am is basically who you are. And a lot of us, the reason why we can't go the direction that we need to go is because we haven't identified clearly or self-identified who exactly we want to be within the sense of 1 to 3 words. Who are you? Who are you? Or what skill do you possess? What problem do you solve? And you maybe title it. And even if that's not necessarily career and business, even if it's you want to be the best spouse or millionaire or health person, whatever that terminology is, it needs to be reduced down to be identified with a title, not so much for the title as much as it is we know who to go to get the production that you offer. For example, if I was building a house, the person that I would need to go to is a, let's say, a carpenter. If I was trying to work on my fitness and I needed somebody to help me, the person I need to go to would be a health expert. If I wanted to work on my husbandry, if I could use that, the person that I need to go to is a marriage expert, right? Someone who's been tried and have or experiential or just basic knowledge of how to instruct me. And so, if you want to change, if you want to become the best version of yourself and whatever it is that you want to be, do, and have, you have to be identified as that person. And so that's an internal thing, and we're going to discuss that. So you have to know your I am. What is your I am? I am what? I am what? Now, I'm going to back up a little bit and break this I am down even further, because a lot of us are in a position, if we're stuck, it's like, I don't know my I am. In other words, we say it like this. We ask ourselves this question: who am I? Right? And who am I is um, a very honest question, because it's like, I want to be this or I want to be that, but I really don't know my skill set to produce an expected desire or dream or at least outcome. Right. And so there's an ambiguity. I know I want to be better in life, but I don't know who I am. I don't know what I can do. And a lot of times it's really just doing a little digging to discover that. But it's an absolutely mandatory that you identify who you are before we begin to walk the process and use other strategies that we'll get into to perfect this person, so you could be identified as the expert or as the go-to in this particular area. So let's walk you through mentally how you need to incorporate this. So the question is, who am I? And when you ask this question again, it's honest. And even going through my researches, I ran across a statement from, well, yeah, a philosophy from Socrates. And the question that he was asked, because this is a thought leader, they asked him, I said, if you had to summate all the philosophical commandments and reduce them to one command, what should people do? And his answer was very simple. It was know yourself. And the reason why is because an unexamined life is not worth living. Meaning, if you don't know who you are, if you don't have a sense of direction, if you don't have that thing that you're perfecting or being the best at and grinding to produce, then you could fall into isolation, depression, and at the end of the day, you don't want to be here, literally, physically. And that's what happens when a lot of people decide to commit suicide or even entertain those thoughts. It's like you're not adding value. You're watching other people add value. You're watching other people be, do, and have whatever they desire, but you haven't identified how to do that yet. And so it's like, I don't want to be here. So is you know yourself. So how do we know who I am? So here's the thing. I need you to do a self audit. We're going to get you closer to your answer by one, telling you how to get this particular wall out of the way. So in order to know yourself, you have to do a self audit and say, what do you say, or what do I say after when I say I am? Now, let me break this down. When you say, actually, I want to look at you here. When you say, the thing that could be stopping you from answering the question of who you are is we know who we are, but who we are, I'm getting somewhere, we don't know that we confess this thing every day, and this blocks us from actually being who we think we need to be. So if that doesn't make sense, let me explain. When you say I am in your quiet time, in your mind, when you're pondering something all day, every day, or you're pondering your result of not doing A, B, and C, we say, man, I am this. And the terms that we do there really begins to define who we are. For example, you say, I'm tired, I'm broke, I'm sick, I'm in a bad place in life, I'm not good at anything. So essentially, we are all day, every day, confessing or declaring or affirming our own self-definition of who we are. Now, this is so vital and important because, again, in order to become the best version, you have to know yourself. So we are telling ourselves who we are every day, but not knowing it. So we're meditating we're meditating, we're programming ourselves by saying, man, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, I can't get this, I can't stand this job, I can't stand her. So we're self-identifying within our own mind, and it's blocking us from being that person. We're kind of unclear about who we want to be, but we know that person gets us to success. So this is the wall that we have to get out of the way. So you have to audit yourself every time you say I am. What are you saying? Let me go ahead and break this down even further. Oh man, you weren't even seeing what I was showing you. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me back up here. This was, let me get this back on the screen here. Sorry guys. So I want to come back and kind of show you what I did here. So again, it's the self audit. What do you say to yourself after you say I am? I am tired. I am broke. I am sick. I am in a bad place in life. I am not good at anything. So all of us get to fill in the blank, like really do an audit. What am I doing? What am I saying all day? Like, and if you catch that you're saying whatever you saying that you don't like, then this is what you have to change. This is vitally important, because this is your meditation. Why? I means awareness. If you could say I, you exist. You separate yourself from things that were created that have no life, or even creatures as we understand them that don't have the capacity of self-awareness to the point that they can say I. Now, your I plus am is meaning what you exist as. It's amplified. What do you magnify? So it's your basically your vibration. I don't want to go too deep, but basically when you say am, you are declaring what you exist as. And then we go ahead and open up what our truth is. I am, you're going to talk about your beliefs, your mindset, your vision, your work, or even your feelings. I'll add that. So when you make that statement, you are defining who you are. Now, this is so vitally important because, again, we're talking about how you need to stop this. Because I follow Tony Robbins, and one of the things he says, the strongest force in the human personality is the need to remain consistent with how we define ourselves. The need to remain consistent with how we define ourselves. I like to switch that need, and that's my word, creative power. God has given us the creative power to remain consistent, or to manifest, or to produce whatever we're defining ourselves as. So we define ourselves all day, every day, through the law of pondering, thinking, and meditation. And sometimes we're pointing out to ourselves our dislikes, our discomforts that we feel, and our shortcomings. And so this wall is the thing that's creating our reality. We're creating this reality, and therefore making it ambiguous to see the person we need to be in order to produce the life that we feel that we should have at this time. Right? And so this is very important. So when you say I am, you are speaking your truth. Even when you say we are, you are inclusive, you're identifying yourself. I'm not happy. We not good together. Whatever you're saying, audit yourself and then check yourself when you say it. All right, here we go. So some other notes that I want to go before I actually even get into this. Let me pull up my notes really quick. And I'm gonna need you guys, please tell me your thoughts on these concepts. Do they make sense to you? Because my goal is to help us build each other up. All right. So again, the most important words that you will ever say in life is I am, because the I am is your reality. It is your truth. It is your self-definition. And so you guys are looking at these notes here. Let's put me back on here. It is your truth. It is your reality. No matter whether it's a lie, or no matter whether it's factual or not, it is your truth. And that's what's important. And that's the thing that we're currently living out. So we can't be doing half what we desire, because our I am is broken. Our I am is broken. So taking this information, you have to now see yourself as a mechanism that you work a certain way based upon certain things that we do. And a lot of times we're ignorant of this gift and this crutch of declaring or affirming our reality. Now, whether you know it or not, that what you say becomes who you are does not matter. What matters is this is how you work. And the ignorance or the lack of understanding, and that's not being derogative, the lack of knowledge in this area is the thing that's causing us to slowly degrade. And so you really have to be conscious of this. When you speak, your words are powerful. The Bible talks about there's death and life and the power of your tongue, meaning when I affirm my I am, I'm telling myself who I want to be. And I want to drive that point home because it's all about your self-perception. That's what life is. It's not what happens to you, it's how what you think about what's happened to you. You follow what I'm saying? And so if I don't self-identify as a certain thing that's going to produce a result, then I will be stuck in the self-defining of what I feel and what I ponder on. And then that is not always the best thing, because most times we're pondering on the things that we have to fix. And our conscious awareness of the thing we have to fix, if we're not fixing them, we're telling ourselves who we are. So your I am creates who you are. So I'm gonna try to give you some assignments in this. I'm gonna jump back over to the screen here. And this will be the assignments. Number one, you have to do that self audit. Number two, it's called the R3 change up right now. This may be adjusted, but at the end of the day, when you're about to say something in your mind that you don't want in your current or your immediate future, you have to stop it. So when you're about to say, man, I don't feel like doing A, B, C, and D. If you say, man, I can't stand, or I ain't this, you have to stop that thought. And then R number two is renew that thought. So I got to change that thought. So I am, instead of tired, I am full of energy to go ahead and perform this 10-minute task, whatever it is we said we didn't feel like we're going to do. I am sick of this person. Instead, you say, I am patient and trying to understand what the point of that person was. So you have to renew the thought. So we're displacing, being conscious aware that that thought is a thought that I don't want. And then you redo it. You speak the new thought. So it's recognize, renew, and then redo. Right? So try to execute on those things. And then the last executable thing that we want to say is you want to identify what your I am is. So if it's a person that you know that you want to desire and expect a consequence, whether it be health, wealth, success, what do you have to be? What skill do you have to acquire? What do you have to produce? What do you have to master? And then self-identify with that. I am this. And whatever you are telling yourself you are, that's what you are going to become. And we have to do this long enough and often enough to produce this in reality. So this is our meditation. This is our daily meditation. And this is our prayer. And people are misunderstanding what prayer is. Prayer is what you contemplate and what you think about all the time. So a lot of times we're praying for the thing that we don't want, because we're meditating, we're pondering, and we're visualizing it, and we're either fearful or having faith on that thing. And so we're producing this, we're praying for it. So whatever you worry about, you're essentially praying for. So when we start to confess an identity about ourselves that we don't like, we begin to pray for that thing. And so this is the strategy for us to change it. This is what I'm understanding in order to get the confidence or the self wherewithal to go towards the direction you're going. Number one, you have to know what you want to be. So we have to identify that person in 3 words, right? And then number two, when you speak against this concept of what you want to be in your future, you have to redo that thought process. You have to audit yourself, do the R3 change up, recognize, renew, and redo that statement, because this is the prayer or what you're producing in your life. And it starts with the mind. Now we're going to get into physical things that you're going to do, other practices, but this is the mental practice, which now becomes physical because you begin to speak it. But there's so many things that we're going to have to do to actually change, to master, to become the best version of yourself. But in order to be, do, and have anything or the desires that we want, we have to first self-identify. And we call this first component of the first module, know yourself, how to discover, your I am. Now, there's a deeper version I probably want to talk to you about either later today or tomorrow about discover your I am. And it slides into that is actually the name of God. He said his name is I am. And so that's going to be pretty deep. That it's going to be life-changing wisdom, and know that we all share the universal mind of God. And we have what we say because we have the creative power to produce anything that we desire. So I love you guys. I'll see you here tomorrow. My goal is to come on every morning live. I'm trying to do 5:30 in the morning Central Standard Time. Y'all pray for me. Do I develop this practice, this habit? And when we get to episode 50 or 100, we're going to be in there. Right. And so these are the same strategies that I'm telling you. We're going to produce these things, and it's going to be good. Love you guys. Share this, like it. whatever, all the other stuff that you're supposed to do. But I'll see you soon. Let's go.